Hi, my name is Wiley Basho Gorn, and I am so excited and grateful to be a part of this sound and healing program being shared live or virtually during this very strange time. My work and experience in sound healing exists in the realm of theater, where I think the spoken word and the voice and music all impact us greatly when we agree to bring ourselves into the creative space of a theater, and share that breath and experience with the performers on stage and our fellow audience members. I think that sound can have an incredibly powerful effect. And of course, audience, the root of the word, audio, it's to hear. You go to listen to a play. Fortunately, in this present time, we can't really gather to experience theater at this moment. And I know in my own profession, there's a lot of uncertainty of when people are going to feel comfortable enough to gather in those vast quantities again. And that's led to a really interesting conversation among theater practitioners of what is theater now? What does its impact hold? And for me, it all falls back to the personal practice. I don't think that one needs any formal training to speak these words, to speak heightened language, to connect to language in the way that an actor or a performer might do. I think all that's needed is an enhanced sensitivity to the body and to language, and it's a combination of things, right? We like to call it the actor's quartet. It's the head, the heart, the voice, and the body. And ideally, we want all four of those working in tandem. I think actors have an incredible privilege of stepping up on stage and being able to connect their head, heart, voice, and body in this wonderful synchronicity. But that's something that everyone can gain and experience. And in my own journey through voice work and working on the spoken word, I've found that that connection can foster incredible strength and articulation in anybody, and anyone's open to that. So today I have picked one of Shakespeare's sonnets that I'm going to speak through, and then I'll sort of talk through what's going on in each line, what we're looking for when we explore the sonnets, and then we'll do it again. And throughout all of this, I think the sonnets are a great entry into not only Shakespeare's work, but the spoken word, what it means to imbue words with feelings. We'll talk a bit more about that, but first, just get everyone centered. You can join along if you wish. Just close your eyes, and if you can stand up with me if you'd like, or if you're sitting, just see if you can get a nice long spine. And check in, and you roll your shoulders back. Yeah. And pull them up really tightly to your ears, and then just drop them and feel that relax. And pull them up one more time to your ears and close your eyes, and then relax. And just give your head some gentle rolls. Remembering to breathe throughout all of this. That is the most important thing to do. Keep on remembering to breathe. And coming back to center, you can close your eyes or keep your eyes in a soft focus. Put your hand up just so your thumb is touching your belly button and your hand is resting right below that. Our bellies are really, that's where our breath drops down to. That's where our diaphragm is. So in a way, if the breath is the vehicle of sound, that's where all of sound comes from, in our bellies. And if sound is connected to feeling, then I think there's an amazing amount of feeling that lives down here as well. See if you can take a moment and put your brain down in your belly. And breathe into that. See if really breathe into that space that your hand is in, your lower belly. And picture your diaphragm like a parachute, one that you might have played with when you were a kid. As you breathe in, the parachute flies up, it's full of air, and as you breathe out, It expands out and the air goes down. And as you're doing this, just gently see if you can touch sound down there in that little pool, down in the parachute of your diaphragm. Huh. Huh. Nothing big. It's just like a little bubble. Like a little bubble has come up from this underground pool. It's just a bubble of sound carried on the breath, and it's huh. Huh. Maybe there's 2 touches. Huh. 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 See if you can ask a question with that. Huh. 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 Bring it onto your lips. And then release it out. So we're going to start down here. Start down with our hands on our belly. See if you can trace the sound, beginning with that impulse for sound, that little bubble of vibration. It begins down in your belly, traces up your torso, and lands on your lips in a nice voiced mmm. We go Yeah, taste the vibrations. What does it taste like? Maybe it's what you had for lunch or dinner or breakfast. Try that one more time. You go And this third one, we get the impulse in, we build up the vibration down in our belly, bring it up to our mouth, and then expand it out on an open ah. We go Yeah, something like that. So this is sonnet 65, and we'll talk a bit about it. Since brass, nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea whose action is no stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honeyed breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays? Oh, fearful meditation, where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? Oh, none, unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright. So that's sonnet 65, if you'd like to follow along at home. Sonnet is 14 lines of verse with a very particular rhyming structure. 14 lines, that means you've got, 3 4-line stanzas, and then a final rhyming couplet. And the rhyme scheme is always going to go A, B, it's the first one. Then C, D, second one. And then E, F, third one, and G, G, that final one. So just talking through, if we look at a sonnet is a little story in 14 lines. It's got a perfect little arc. It begins with a question, and by the end of it, it comes to some realization or resolution that was different from where we started at the beginning. So let's look at the first few lines of this. Since brass, nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea whose action is no stronger than a flower? When I work on language, I think the most important thing is what does the speaker connect to in the language? And I mean, there's no right answer for this. This is whatever you connect to, whatever I connect to. When I look at this, since brass nor stone nor earth nor boundless sea, these lists of things, and each one gets a little bit bigger, right? Brass is something man-made. It's a metal. Brass, strong brass. Stone, oh, stone's a bit big. Stone's from the earth. And then earth, not even stones, but the whole earth. And then boundless sea, the biggest thing imaginable almost, this vast sea. All of those stacked together, sad mortality o'ersways their power. And I think what that's saying is that no matter the strength of the thing, and I mean these three examples all are things which to me have a spirit. They're all susceptible to mortality. Life is always going to catch up with them. No matter how powerful you are as a person, mortality is always going to get to you. So we've got this opening statement. Mortality o'ersways us all. The question that we're resting on is, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea whose action is no stronger than a flower? How is something beautiful ever going to compete in this onslaught of this rage? So what does the word rage mean? I mean, rage, I think of a rage against the dying of the light. This turmoil, this struggle for life. Where is beauty going to exist in this? Because beauty's action is no stronger than a flower. And how strong is a flower? A flower is, born in a day and can just as easily die. So we have this opening question of, how is beauty able to survive this onslaught of mortality? How can beauty survive mortality? When we move on, we expand upon the question. The first stanza sets it up. The second one expands upon it. How shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days? I love that image of summer's honey breath. Honey breath. Say that with me. Honey breath. How shall summer's honey breath hold out? We're in spring right now, and summer's coming on. But what takes its toll on summer and spring? It's a wrackful siege of battering days. These days just keep on coming, one after another. I know in the midst of quarantine, it seems endless, right? It seems like there's no end to it. It's just you wake up and there's another day and you do your thing and you try to get outside, but you have to go back inside. This wrackful siege of battering days, this summer's honey breath is going to war against the days that it's an onslaught, this steady march of days. How shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays. So how is something as ephemeral as summer's honey breath going to survive when impregnable rocks are not stout? Stout means strong. When rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays. And I think when you see the word time, this is one of the moments when Shakespeare says the word time, it should be with a capital T. Time is the act of time passing, but time is also a very real person. Time could be death. Maybe that's who time is. Time is death, that no matter how strong you are, it's going to come for you in the end. This great dilemma of mortality that we all live with and struggle with and work through on a daily basis as these days batter us. So how's summer's honey breath? How's something as beautiful as summer going to last when nothing can stop the course of time, right? Rocks impregnable are not so stout. Gates of steel will eventually rust when given the course of time. But time decays. So time's kind of our villain, right? We've got the first one, setting up the problem. This expands upon it. The third one kind of seeks, it's the action. What action can we take? We've talked about what this problem is. Now we're going to take action. And it goes, Oh, fearful meditation, where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? That's great. I love so many questions in this section, right? We're scrambling for answers. The first line, oh, fearful meditation, is kind of an, now that I'm thinking about that, it's absolutely terrifying. This meditation that I've been doing for the first 8 lines has caused to absolutely terrify me. Where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? So in this, I'd say that, what's time's best jewel? I think time's best jewel could be considered beauty, right? Beauty is made by time. Through time, beauty is developed. That's either as we grow up and our beauty flourishes, or over time, something that was not beautiful to us becomes beautiful, like a painting or a certain art form that we've never experienced. But the more time we spend with it, the more beautiful we see it to be. So time's best jewel is beauty. So where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? So if we think about like a chest of gold and treasures, jewels belong in a chest. So we've stolen this beauty out of time's chest and we're trying to hide it. We're trying to find where's the best place we can hide this beauty that we have from time. There's an inevitable thing about that. Jewels always got to go back in the chest. Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? So if we can't hide time, can we stop it? There's a great setup of a strong hand versus a swift foot. Who's strong enough? Who's got a hand strong enough to stop the foot of time, stop the procession of those days that batter on to seek to consume us? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? Time is looking for a spoil of beauty. That jewel of time is time's spoil. Time's always on the hunt for that, like a pirate looking for the jewels to put back in his chest. So we've come to the end of these questions, right? Fearful meditation. Where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? Who could forbid time from taking back what was his all along? And these final 2 lines, we have the answer, or we come to conclusion. And in this case, the conclusion is, oh, none. Unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright. I love those last 2 lines. We've done all these questions. How are we going to stop time? Is there any way to stop time? Is there any way to retain beauty? Is there any way for beauty to survive time? And the answer is nope. There's no way. Unless, it all turns around on this little word, unless this miracle have might. And what's the miracle that he's talking about? That in black ink, my love may still shine bright. And I like to think of this as a discovery that the writer is making as they write. Even as Shakespeare is writing, maybe he doesn't know what the end of this is. And he comes to the end and he realizes that the way that beauty lives on is he's just written about it, right? So the miracle, not a lot to go on. A miracle is something very unlikely, but if this miracle has might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright, that over the years people will continue to read and hear his words, and these words will continue to light up the hearts and the imaginations of those that speak them and hear them. That's the way that beauty survives. That's the way that time is conquered. It's a bit of a trick. It's a bit of a loophole, but I think artists are always kind of looking for those tricks and loopholes in how something continues on, especially something that can be as ephemeral as sound. You make it and then it's gone. So one more time from the top, this is Sonnet 65. Since brass nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea whose action is no stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays? Oh, fearful meditation, where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? Oh, none. Unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright. And I've been thinking a lot about that as these days stretch on into weeks and approach months. What's the way to keep this energy alive? And I do think that it's in sound. It's in the communication. And it's also in that belief in the miracle of who I am today, that core essence continues on and continues to deepen and grow in, well, I don't know. I think we're all finding new ways to make that happen. That's the refrigerator. Thank you all so much. And especially thank you to my father, Steve Gorn, who invited me to this wonderful gathering of artists and musicians and storytellers and sound magic workers. Thank you. Be well.